Welcome back to On the Bench. Today we're on the bench with the Votainion Interceptor one more time. As you can see, it's been um, painted in primer gray and it's pretty much done. Uh, I may have a little bit of work here and there to do on this, but basically what I'm showing you here is going to be the final uh, build of it. All the greeblies are done. All the paneling is done. It's got a top fin now, and it has some, panels here and there for interest, and some panel lines are there. You don't see the panel lines too good because they're not accented yet. Oh, and it's just got the gray primer on. The head is now complete, so it has kind of a diamond shape to it, and it hangs over the edge. It's different than the drawing that I made, and I'm not sure why it turned out that way, other than it's kind of just the way it is. I'm sorry, everything is backwards right now. I'm looking at it and talking about it, and there we go. Um, some of the last minute details I added were in this area right here. When you see it head on, you can see some of that detail. Trying to show it to the camera. There you go. It has the two little pilot figures inside it, the 1/144th scale little 3D printed guys that I bought. They're in there. They're painted up. They're not really pretty. You look in there and you're like, well, they're not the same color they came, so I guess that's different. I didn't spend a lot of time on it because, quite frankly, you're never going to see it. Absolutely never going to see it. It's only there for me. But anyway, the nose of this bird will have some stripes on it, and I think it'll be quite interesting when it's done, the final paint scheme. Um, one, I did do some build video of some of the stuff I did on the top here, so when I push that, you'll be able to see that. But one of the things I did was, if you notice, there's these two circular items here. They look like a hole punch did them. I used an actual punch set to punch through plastic and create those, and kind of an homage to how I did things a long time ago, except I used a hole punch, paper hole punch. The bottom all has detail now, and it's all finalized, and the panels are scored, and I think you'll see now that it kind of holds together pretty good. It really looks like it has a function as well as a form. So I think that turned out pretty good. All of this will pop out a lot more once we do the wash, and that's coming up after I decide on the paint scheme. You'll notice the bottom of the nose here has some sanding on it, so I have to do a little more sanding to fill cracks on that, and then some more primer. I kind of ran out of primer the other day on this. I had less in the can than I thought, so it definitely needs another spray or two of primer. There's still nothing in the engines. Just not going to bother with that at this time. But anyway, that's what she looks like. The bottom piece here got primered also, so if I shoot a scene where you're going to see the bottom of it, I can just stick that on like that. Looks pretty cool. The unfortunate thing about this is that when you are displaying it on your desk, you can't have that piece on there. So you have to just kind of set it under the model, I guess, like that. But there we have it, the Votainion Interceptor. The last drawing that I had when I was a kid was this one. And it had this weird colored pencil splotches of color on it and some Roman numerals on it. I'm not gonna like talked about this before, but I'm not gonna put a lot of markings on it, if any at all. I may do a Votainion symbol, but honestly, my brother can Photoshop that stuff for the cover a lot better than I can paint it. So I'm just gonna let him do that. But you notice these this corrugated effect on the bottom has been matched with the scratch build. We saw that being built. The top fin is a little bit more of a severe rake to it, but I think it looks better the way I did it. And the bottom of the head has, on some models or versions that I modeled here, have an extended piece that it's extra navigation domes or scanners or whatever. I didn't do all that. I just wanted a clean look to it. So we got that, and I think we're done. Here's the little one for comparison. Sits on it. Don't know what color I'm going to paint this yet. I'm still mulling that over in my head. It's probably going to be a multi-gray camouflage scheme, very not unlike the early Kiv fighters, starfighters from the start of the war, and those were heavily influenced by German aircraft from World War II. So we'll see what I come up with. I know it will have the black striping on the nose, so that's cool. And I think this piece here will be painted red or some color, and I probably won't do color back here like this one does. Probably just keep this piece up here a color. That's something you can change in Photoshop easily too, but go ahead and do it. But yeah, we're pretty much to the end on this one. It happened quite fast. The next video that I show on this one will be after it's all painted. I will do another build video that'll show the process of painting it, maybe masking it up if I decide to go with camouflage, and definitely the weathering. We'll get some video of that, me doing that. I think it's just going to be very quick. I don't build my starships. See, I don't weather them in the same way that ILM did their Star Wars ships. They had a very distinctive ILM look to them, which I think was mimicking aircraft weathering, but it's kind of its own thing, and I don't normally emulate that at all. If you talk to guys guys and gals who build replicas of the Star Wars models, they inevitably try to recreate exactly what the studio scale models that they shot the film with look like, and how they were weathered with the streaking and some of the way they have paint overspray, and it's a very particular look. It's very cool. I think it looks great in the Star Wars universe, but not many of my ships look like that. My ships kind of have their own weathering, and also my stuff is more influenced by model airplane modeling and real life aircraft. So a little different, but that's what makes it unique and cool, in my opinion. So that's that. The next model up to build is probably going to be another large scale one. Looking at doing one of these other Votainion starships, either the Kotley class, like this one, or a smaller one, a Koshiman. They will be 3/20th square, or 1/3. Shoot, I can't even remember now. Anyway, the starship scale. I will probably use this 2-inch pipe for the star drive on it. So it's not going to be much bigger than that one, probably a little bit bigger, but it'll be the same scale, 3/20th, 1/320th scale. It'll be the same scale as the large Starship models that I showed that one time are. The Votainion starfighters of this era of the war, the middle of the war, are kind of went with the same interpretation as Russia did for the development of their tank force that was supposed to invade Europe for World War III. They said lots of tanks and easy to maintain and easy to build. So their tanks are very simple and they couldn't do a whole lot, but they could throw a lot of them into battle. That's the kind of the same thing I'm looking at for this. Their starships are disposable and they can make them real fast and they're smaller and use less materials. So there's more of them to handle for the good guys. So keeping with my Star Drive tubes, this is a C-class engine. It's 2 inches wide, ABS plastic pipe. So that'll be the foundation for it. I just happened to find this on the floor of my garage. Go, hey, I was looking for that. But it'll be probably I'm leaning towards this one because I think it's more interesting. But who knows? I may fall back and make the Kashiman because it's a little simpler. But we'll see. Couple weeks I'll be doing that. It's getting warm here in Idaho, so and by warm I mean upper 60s, lower 70s. In the winter here it is. That's my model building season because I can heat my garage with a little space heater and I can be out here in pretty cold temperatures and be fine. It inhibits painting. I need warmer weather to paint. So a lot of times I'll build models up into the point where they need to be primered, and then they'll just sit and wait until the warmer weather, and I can apply paint and primer to them. So don't have that problem in the spring right now. But I am kind of rushing to get through a couple models before the model season ends, because when the temperatures get into the 80s and 90s around here and upwards into the hundreds of late, it's way too hot to be out here in the garage playing models. So those videos will come to a screeching halt until fall. But in the meantime, we're going to see how many of these I can get through. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments, and please subscribe and follow the channel. Appreciate all the people that have commented so far. I hope I've addressed some of the comments that they've made in previous videos. So keep them coming and let me know what you want to see. I'll do my best. I don't, like I said before, I don't have a lot of time to edit, so you're going to get pretty simple stuff from me for a while. But that's just the way it is. Life's life. But I have been doing the build videos where I just basically turn on this camera and record as I'm building, and you get what I got. So if it's long and boring, I'm sorry. That's all. That's all you're gonna get. But some people are curious to see me actually do a build, so that's why I do those. And I think it'll be more interesting once we do the painting and the wash. I think that process will be interesting to see me actually doing. But yeah, excited to see how this one turns out at the end, and hope you come back and see that. That's all for this episode. Thanks for hanging with me on the bench.